Muy buenas a todos, gente, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio aquí en el canal de Don Pepperronin. Vamos a continuar donde lo habíamos dejado con esta cosita tan hermosa que tenemos aquí. ¿Cómo se llama, por cierto? A ver, espérame, antes de checar. Se llama dispositivo papirofléxico del preservador de las nubes. Supongo que no tiene nombre, le podrás... Dice, aunque se llama dispositivo, no parece que tenga componentes mecánicos tradicionales, al menos visto desde el exterior. Le podemos poner nombre. Ya le pondremos nombre después. Deja que se me ocurra algo para ponerle. Por lo pronto quiero pedirte que por favor te suscribas al canal, dejes tu like en el episodio y me sigas para más capítulos de Genshin Impact. En esta vez, la versión 3.1. Sigamos con la misión principal. Sígueme en todas mis otras redes sociales. Te las dejo aquí abajo en la descripción.
This should be our final stop. Setaria is always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything!
It's my duty to protect Samaria's citizens, after all.
Eres la única que lo hace.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing!
Sure. But you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
Habla con Nahida, que se encuentra...
Time to go.
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Setaria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Setaria face her problems.
Setaria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Setaria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Setaria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Si el rey deseará la acosada por sus actos o si demandará algo de ella.
So, how do we set that up?
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Setaria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King. And then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Setaria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But possess anyone?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them.
¿Cómo?
As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal,
Ostras, ¿las voy a
the
poseer
effect will
yo?
basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
Está bien, lo intentaré.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things
¿Qué sienten
are
las
now,
personas después de que
I
Najida las
probably should
posee?
just
¿Se
accept it and
despiertan
push on.
conscientes de lo que
Don't
dijeron
beat
o
yourself up
dicen,
over it.
achis,
We're only
pasaron
doing
los
this to
últimos
help everyone, and we'll
45
only be
minutos?
borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Espera hasta el día siguiente a las 12 de la noche, de la tarde, perdón. A ver, mañana a las 12. 12:02 para llegar ligeramente tarde, un elegante retraso. Buenas, ya me voy. No, ay, no quería hacer eso, maldita sea. Se me olvidó hacer algo.
Here she comes. Satari is here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin possessing them. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kind of nervous. Okay, let's go. Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
¡Ostras!
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong?
Les falta
I always
comida.
thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
Harut y Marut. Ingas, la verdad no me acuerdo.
Ah, that's right. They're just little darlings, aren't they?
Uy.
Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
What?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
Los dioses han hablado. Los dioses han hablado.
The gods are asking, Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sataria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere
Vuelve el
apologies
desierto.
and ask for their divine forgiveness.
Vuelve al
And
desierto ahora
if I
mismo.
may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
Rey rojo, rey guindo, rey algo.
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a second. The Scarlet King passed away a long time ago. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
La resurrección del rey es una compañía de desinformación. Yale.
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
O sea que lo de revivirlo es un
As a
pancho
child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his
academia.
divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry, I must go now.
Wait!
No me pagaste, págame.
Whoa, she just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset too.
Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything
Al
amiss.
chile se notó
To
que
have
sospechó
something she's
muchas
been trying
cosas.
desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after all.
All I know are some abstract Harvard-taught theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of everything. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Sataria.
Sí, dame chance. Déjame
He's
salir
out of
por
teams
rápido.
now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
¿Por dónde estábamos ahorita parados? Por aquí. ¡Sí! Que esta cosita de aquí no me deja tener mi mente tranquila. ¿Dónde era? Aquí. Cuando el día da el relevo al día siguiente, desde el puente puede verse la silueta, ¿pero eso qué? ¿Un proverbio? El día que da el relevo al día siguiente, la silueta que termina de trabajar. ¿No eres tú el viajero? ¿También te interesan los acertijos del señor Drusus? ¿Sabes quién lo puso? Es una misión. Este acertijo lo puso el señor Drusus, un erudito de la Academia de Sumeru. Hasta donde yo sé, es considerado un excéntrico incluso en la Academia de Sumeru. Lo que más le gusta hacer es hablar de acertijos e investigar todo tipo de métodos de encriptación. Pero a veces sus acertijos son demasiado difíciles de comprender, por lo que no hay mucha gente que esté dispuesta a hablar con él. Por eso se le ocurrió la idea de recompensar a quienes resuelvan sus acertijos. En pocas palabras, lo que indica en realidad este acertijo es la ubicación de un tesoro. Para obtenerlo solo hay que llegar en el momento justo al lugar correcto y usar el método adecuado. El señor Drusus también señaló que todos los tesoros están ubicados dentro de la ciudad de Sumeru, pero como pueden ver, ningún aventurero ha conseguido descifrar este acertijo aún. Si les interesa también pueden intentarlo ustedes, pero si quieren que les diga mi opinión, será mejor que vayan a hacer algo más productivo. Órale, va. ¿Ya se quitó la cochinada esta? Ya.
Time to go.
Entonces, vayamos a poseer al que sigue.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again?
Quiero ser albañil.
Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better?
Está mucho mejor. Que camina con menos dificultad ahora.
Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Así es.
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of the Scarlet King?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
Antes de darme cuenta ya estaba metido de lleno en mi papel.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Sataria, but once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway, let's keep going.
Siguiente posesión mental. Sataria, buenas tardes.
Sataria's already started talking with Shishan.
¿Quieres hablar de Jesucristo, nuestro Señor?
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in the
Pues
city
algo de un
lately?
señor Scarlet
Like,
King que me dice
as if
cosas.
someone was trying to preach to you about something?
No, paso mi ¿qué? No, paso todo mi tiempo. Paso todo mi tiempo libre estudiando en el sótano. No, paso todo mi tiempo. Ahí está. No, paso todo mi tiempo libre estudiando en el ático. No, en el sótano. Paso todo mi tiempo.
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything
¿Cómo
like
cuál reporte
that.
qué?
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to the Scarlet King as well.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects.
Please, please stop!
Pobrecita chava, cómo le encanta vivir de sus
Sataria's
problemas.
still trying to run from her problems.
¿Me pasé de la raya?
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards. What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
¿Cómo te atreves a decir
Miss
que el rey
Sataria,
Escarlata es...
Nothing is
está
impossible.
muerto?
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for
desmayar,
becoming a
no.
believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Se muere, no le da un derrame o algo.
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of the Scarlet King. I have to say, this is a familiar feeling. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
No es demasiado tarde para dar la vuelta. Debes seguir tu corazón, ve al desierto.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by
Ayúdanos
facing
a
the
acabar con la
truth.
academia.
Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the Scarlet King? Or are you the god himself?
That's not
Parece
important.
que eres muy lista.
The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
La tengo en la palma, banda.
How much do you know about the sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zeru's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
¿Un proscrito al que incluso los sabios le temen?
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see. Let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
The Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to successfully complete this task,
Todavía no,
would it mean I've
pero tal
atoned
vez sí.
for my wrongdoings?
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our side.
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise.
No, la verdad tú es la que me ayudaste a
Now that
poseer a la
we've
gente,
made
así
plans to
que...
meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild.
Bueno, ya no quiero adelantar más el tiempo. Tengo que esperar hasta la noche del día siguiente de mañana. Mientras tanto, quiero conocer el desierto. A ver. ¿Qué decía? Decía algo del curry. O sea que esto sí es la India. A ver. A ver. Uy, qué bonito. ¿Qué es esto? No sé, pero ya lo maté. Hay varios. Oh, qué misterioso se puso, ¿no? Desde acá, desde lejos, no se veía tan ominoso y tan feo. Me siento como en el Ocarina cuando te metías al desierto, ¿sabes? Todo se llenaba de una brisa de sal así tan horrible. A ver, espérame. ¿Qué?
que aparece en el brea cuando te metes al bosque, yo creo.
También.
Ah, por cierto, hola y bye.
Aquí viniste, cariño.
Nada, es que no puedo dormir. Pepe está grabando a la
1 de la mañana. Hoy nomás ese rolón. Cariño, quítame tus pelos de la cara.
Ya, bye.
Ah. Uy. Tiene el cabello largo. ¡Oh, qué es esto! Ostras, quiero uno de estos. ¡No, no! ¡Ah, maldita sea! ¡Está! ¿Por qué me haces esto? ¡Ay, está bien bonito! Me lo quería llevar.
One with nature.
¡Ay, no mientas! ¡Es un escorpión! ¡Ay, qué triste! Me pongo esta porquería. No puede ser. Quería darle escorpión. Están bien chidos, míralos. Mira qué es este bicho. Está guapo, tú. No lo puedo tener de animal, de mascota, de compañero. Me debería de envenenar o algo, ¿no? Estaría guapo que me pusiera lo de la corrosión esta que te ponen los lobos. Para que me haga daño como de veneno. No me hace absolutamente nada, pobrecito. Hasta me da lástima matar. Oye, esto de las texturas de la arena está guapo, ¿eh? Mira, se marcan los efectos de los poderes. Dios, qué guapo. Ah, me encanta, está chido. A ver, bueno, a ver, el desierto. Vamos a explorar el desierto, banda. Tenemos aquí una... Oh, ¿qué es eso? Así me voy a sentir cuando esté jugando el Breath of the Wild. El 2. El Tears of the Kingdom. ¿Son animales buenos o son malos? Tienen finta de ser malos, la verdad. Malísimos. Dios, pero están guapísimos. Es como un Moltres.
Into the wind.
A tomar cosa. Ay, me dan carne de ave, claro, son pájaros. Sí, bueno, a ver. La estatua de la Kusanali. No puedo hacer esta acción en combate. Maldita sea. Hay cactuses. Y hay... Fíjate, estas torres están chidas porque cuando te transportas aquí, agarras los animóculos de estos y siempre es bueno saber dónde hay muchos así de fácil acceso. Qué verde tan curioso. ¿Esto sigue siendo un verde? Este es verde, pero este sigue siendo verde, güey. Ya pasa a ser amarillo. Aldea Aru. No tengo ni un solo animóculo, por cierto. Si acaso 1 o 2. No mientas, esto parece México. Se parece mucho a la villa esta del Red Dead Redemption. Al armadillo, no. Ay, no me acuerdo cómo se llamaba pero era del Red Dead 1. Era algo como... Ay, no me acuerdo. No me acuerdo. También se parece a la película esta de El libro de la vida, ¿sabes? Era como una villa de este estilo. Y la gente aquí sí es morena como yo. No es pálida como Kazuha. Kazuha es color Casper, el fantasma amigable, y este es color... How.
Time to go.
Ay, no me digan racista. Me dan ganas de darle una patada en la cola a este niño. Parece que me escuchó. Abuela, no. Oye, ¿tú qué es esto? Parece una corriente de aire ascendente. Oye, me encanta. Es como... indio americano, indio de la India también, ¿sabes? Es una mezcla entre ambos. Un toquecillo de Villa Pobre de México también tiene. Me estoy llenando los calzones de arena, ¿tú? Sí, de aquí para dónde voy, porque no creo que esto sea lo más alto que pueda llegar. ¡Oh, qué bonito! Pensé que la aldea nomás era eso. Hay más para acá. Ah, qué guapo tú. Frutos nuevos. Un dátil, claro, porque son palmeras, que por cierto, madera nueva también. ¿No? Madera de tamarisco. Habachi. Yo tenía un servidor de Minecraft en el Habachi. No, ese es Amachi. O algo así, ¿no? Creo que sí. Tú, es precioso el desierto, ¿no? Ostras. Es como bonito, pero no. Ojos de las arenas. Si me encuentro a las ¿cómo se llaman? Las estatuas de las 7 heroínas, me voy a asustar. Si me encuentro una Gerudo por aquí, voy a decir, oye, espérame, ¿qué? Desierto era lo que le faltaba a Genshin Impact para ya terminar de parecerse al Breath of the Wild. Me quedé sin energía. Quiero subir esta montaña. ¡Ostras! Un cofre de las decoraciones, tú.
A fateful offering.
¡Hala! Una casa completa. ¡Qué guapo! Ya no se compran, ¿eh? Ahora tienes que aprenderlas. Me gusta eso. Bueno, no aprenderlas, buscarlas más bien. Está divertido.
Happy to oblige.
Imbécil. Ah, te pasaste de lanza. A ver.
One with nature.
Montículos de arena. Debajo de estos montículos de arena, los cuales pueden desmoronarse fácilmente con el elemento Nemo, podría haber objetos escondidos. Qué sospechosista. Que me imagino que con Kazuha esto es automáticamente, ¿no?
Into the wind.
Para esto es... Vamos a seguir investigando el desierto en el siguiente episodio, gente. Por lo pronto vamos a ir dejándole por aquí. Espero que les haya gustado muchísimo este episodio. También vuelan, qué guapo. Les mando un fuerte abrazo. Enemigos nuevos. ¿O no?
You are not welcome
No me suena que sea nuevo, ¿no?
That's close enough.
Como decía, vamos a ir dejando por aquí el episodio. Espero que les haya gustado muchísimo. Nos vemos en el siguiente directito. No, bueno, episodio más bien. Directos, voy a seguir grabando también. Mira, estos también son nuevos. Estos, oye, Añora Escarlata. Son iguales a los de Breath también. ¿Cómo se llamaban? Ay, no me acuerdo. Algo eléctrico, no sé qué.
Time to go.
Pero bueno, aquí le vamos a ir dejando. Cuídense mucho, les mando un fuerte abrazo. Nos vemos en el siguiente episodio que vamos a grabar a continuación. Y bueno, ya vaya. Cuídense mucho, gente. Les mando un fuerte abrazo. Chao, chao. Qué bonito oasis.